Bring in Kevin Frazier from Entertainment Tonight. Oh, wow. He brought in his music. There it is. It's Kevin's yearly segment here on the Dan Patrick Show. The red carpet for Entertainment Tonight, the coverage I'm sure will continue tonight. He's Mr. Hollywood, Kevin Frazier from E.T., who joins us. Hey, how you feeling?
I'm good, Dan. I've learned my lesson over the years. I almost crept out to Kevin Hart's party last night, and then I knew I need to go home and go to bed because I was in at 3 a.m., so I knew that if I went out, I would dig a hole for myself.
Okay, let's start beforehand. The anticipation of this, because it was about Chris Rock. I know it's about DiCaprio, but was Chris
right.
Rock, and the bar was set pretty high. As an African-American, expectation level, what you heard, and how would you grade what Chris did?
I thought Chris was fantastic because I thought that he was fair, he was balanced. He went after the Academy. He also went after Will and Jada. I mean, he didn't. No one was exempt, and I thought that's what Chris Rock does so well. That he will go after everyone, but he also painted the perfect picture. And look, I think that the Academy had reached a point where they were like, "Look, here, Reggie Hudlin." You're going to produce it. Chris is going to do his thing, and we're going to back away and let it happen because change is going to come. We can't do anything this year, but change is coming real soon.
Yeah, there were a couple of moments, like the Stacey Dash moment. It was a cringer. I didn't know if anybody knew how to react to Stacey Dash coming out there.
That is true, and that is where it was a Chris joke that or an inside moment that was a little too doggone inside. If you noticed, there were a lot of black folks who were covering their face. And they're like, "Oh gosh, I'm talking to Stacey today." By the way,
oh, you are.
We're going to sit down and have a conversation about why in the world she would do that because there are moments where you're like, there was no reason for you to do that. There was no reason for. There are things that make you scratch your head and wonder why, and that is a moment where you scratch your head and wonder why. Was it just for the attention? And if it was, you were the joke. You have to realize when you're the butt of the joke.
Tension. Is there any drama on the red carpet?
Yeah, there is. I will tell you this. Our tense moment, and you know what? At the end of our show, we had 3 people come together. You have Liev Schreiber and Naomi Watts, who you want to talk to. You also have Quincy Jones, who's a legend. You can't brush off Quincy. But then you also have Brie Larson, who you're waiting to see. And they all converged at one time. And
wow.
Brie got the star treatment. And I could see Liev Schreiber was like, dude, what is going on? Those are the kind of moments you have where stars have, when they're waiting and they're like, I'm not going to wait. Really? You expect me to wait right now? And I get it. I understand it. But those are the tense moments on the carpet. But for the most part, this year, it was really, people were cool. I mean, Eddie Redmayne talked about winning a Razzie. Alicia Vikander talked about her dress being memed all over the internet and being compared to Belle. So everybody was kind of cool. There was that tense moment, though, when all 3 people converged, and I was like, oh, goodness.
But I hear there's new rules, though, on the red carpet. New policy. You're not allowed to ask women what they're wearing. You have to ask them more.
No, look, a couple of years ago, it really started and took it was head on. But understand this. When those women put on those dresses, they want you to notice and they want to talk about those dresses because there are designers and jewelers and there's a big industry and lots of money is spent behind the whole fashion of the day. So people don't want their fashion ignored. Of course, there were women who said, yes, we want to talk about more than just our fashion. You're right. But it's also a industry. Contracts. People receive contracts because of what they look like and what they wear that day. And so that was a little bit of overreaction. And I remember that year, and it was kind of like, okay, we'll ask you more, but we're also going to ask you about your fashion because if you didn't care about your fashion, you would have just wore a black dress and showed up.
All right. We ask these questions every year, so we'll do rapid fire. Best looking person,
come on,
in person, man or woman?
Best looking can I say this? My favorite person of the day, best as far as best looking. Well, no. Charlize Theron looked incredible. I mean,
Come on, you can't.
Literally,
Like,
you
come
turn
on.
sometimes and you look and you're like, oh my goodness. Yeah, Charlize Theron was like that. Was like take your breath away, make you say, wow. And the way the jewels drop down to like her belly button, you take as a guy, you just take a moment and you say, wow, that's special. And like when Steph Curry hits 3 jumpers in a row, you're like, that's special.
Okay,
that was like Steph Curry. That's special.
Best looking guy in person was who?
It's Hollywood. There are a lot of really good-looking men where you.
But this guy's going
to. I mean,
this guy would steal your girlfriend.
This guy would steal your girlfriend. You know what? I must say that Chris Pine is very normal size looking. Here's a guy who would shock you. The little kid, Jacob Tremblay, right, who was in the movie Room.
Yeah.
His dad is a police detective in Toronto, is an amazingly good-looking man. Like, he looked like a star. As a matter of fact, he had the hashtag Dad So Hot going on the red carpet at the Golden Globes. His dad would steal your girl.
The actor still out on the town right now is who?
Without a doubt, Jennifer Lawrence. Without a doubt. But I will say that Sam Smith is out. His dad actually sent a message to him and said, go out and basically said, get yours. I can't really repeat what the message really said.
Right.
It was on social media, but basically said, hey, son, have a great night and go out and get yours. It was written on a banana. But it would be Sam is still out, without a doubt. Sam and Jennifer Lawrence, who, by the way, was the last person there. As a matter of fact, when she came to the red carpet, she just went running in and was like saying, I'm sorry to everybody as she walked by us.
Best party? Was there? You said you didn't go to Kevin Hart's.
No, I was going to go to Kevin Hart's party, and I went home. You reach a point in your life where you have to make wise decisions. It's like, night before a game, there were guys who could go out all night and still play and drop 20. I reached the point where I got to take the nap. I have to take the nap if I want to play hard.
You're like Kobe. You're like Kobe is now.
Yeah, 100%. And here's the thing, Dan. As I'm driving in, because I drive through Hollywood going to work, you see all the people still coming out. The amount of people still coming out of the Governor's Ball, because it was about 2:25, 2:30 when I was cutting through Hollywood. The amount of people still coming out of the Governor's Ball. Do you know how hard you're going if you're still at or near the Dolby Theater? You're in deep. Those are the guys who go like to the media party during the NBA Finals and stay all night.
Can DiCaprio do even better now with an Academy Award? Is that possible?
His life is so good. And, right now he's making this documentary about climate change. So he's traveling all over the world working on that. And, in between, he might bump into Rihanna here and there, another supermodel. His life is so good. And so the only way I describe it is like it's delicious. There are only a few people on this planet who really get to soak up that amazing life. Leonardo is one of them. Like everywhere he goes, he gets the best of everything.
He's the Adam Schefter.
There's nothing bad about his life right now.
The Adam Schefter of the red carpet, Kevin Frazier. Please give our best to Nancy O'Dell, and we'll be watching tonight, entertainment tonight. Get some sleep, Kevin. Thanks for joining us.
Should I ask Stacey Dash about her passion bucket?
Oh, my gosh. If you can work it in, but I think she's game for anything now. So after that last night, sure, why not?
Yeah, I agree.
Thanks, Kev.
I agree.
All right.
All right, Dave.
Kevin Frazier, Entertainment Tonight.